Got the Notaclon and Amity, or the Notadumble and Amity here. Got our clean. We'll switch viewpoints in a sec, but some nice drive from the So that's the clean on the Notadumble. So that was a drive from the Amity. What we're going to do is switch viewpoints real quick. So I think you guys will enjoy that a little bit more, seeing it from the top down, and that might help. That might help explain it. Might help explain it. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. Okay, so you've got your Notadumble here. Was using it. Let's back it up. Back it up. Perfect. You can kind of read the knobs from there. So you've got input and output on the clean, and it's kind of this clean boost that's really nice. So we've got some nice clean boost. So we'll kick it up to some dirt. So I'm playing the neck single coil. Andrew. So it's like, I really like this clean section on the neck pickup of the guitar. 'Cause without it, but then yeah, and then kick on the right side higher gain. Yeah, I keep wanting to play those like fluid notes, like. Yeah, no, it is really fun playing. I mean, I'm about to build some pedals too, so we'll show some of that. Play some of it. I just like how the notes pop out. Hi. Hello, everyone. We're here in my garage, dropping knowledge. But yeah, having fun playing these. I think it's we're playing the here. I gotta move some stuff out of the way so you guys can see me better. 1 second. Got my nose right telly here, and the reason I like it is because it's got all 3 pickups. Yeah, I'm about to build some pedals here in a minute. I just figured to open the stream up with some jammins. Yeah, it's made out of pine. It's from this guy on Etsy. I stole some parts off of it to complete it, but it's pretty cool. It's a Mosrite shape, but it's got a telly layout. I have a hot rails in the bridge. I use this a lot on my videos. Sometimes you don't see it, but this is probably the one that I use the most these days because it has the full flexibility, and I like how it sounds. Yeah, it has like a regular Squire neck that I stole from one of my other builds. I like these Squire necks because they have a slim C. Yeah, it's here. Let's see if I can back up enough so you can see the whole thing. So yeah, I think it would be cool to have a nice 3x3 headstock for this guitar. And I actually would like a nicer body for it, as much as I like the guy who made this. The quality of it is a little rough. It's made out of reclaimed wood, and it's a lot of strips. So you can see it's just a bunch of stuff sandwiched together. Yeah, and that was the whole thing. Like, I've always liked the Mosrite look. I had one of those Eastwood, I think is the brand. Eastman. I can't remember which one it is. But yeah, the ones that have that, like, they make like a reproduction Mosrite thing with P90s or with humbuckers or whatever. The body is really light, yeah. I think it weighs about 4 pounds, even though it's physically large. Here, I'll stand up so you can see it. It's wide and long, but it doesn't weigh that much. So the whole guitar all in is probably like 6.5 pounds, 7 pounds, something like that. It's not bad. I mean, the hardware adds some too. I guess I could be off a little bit. But it's a light guitar overall, because it's made out of pine. It's reclaimed. It's like super old reclaimed pine from an old cabin or something. This guy sells them on Etsy in all different, it's like tellies in all different styles. No, I actually like heavy guitars. I just happen to have a lot of light ones right now. I have an Ash telly that's pretty beefy. I do like that one quite a bit. But yeah. Okay, I think we're going to switch gears, and I'm going to go back to building pedals, and I'll hang out and talk to you guys while I do it. But if people request that I jam the pedals more, I will. I have my other test bed telly. This is what I was playing earlier in the stream. This thing is what I use the most of all my guitars, and it's just got one volume knob and a hot rail, and this is a 90s Affinity, I think. Whatever it is, it's the one that has the thinner body. I got it in a trade. and so it's what I've been using the most. I love how the finish is yellowed. It's from 98, and it already had some kind of natural color change to it, but it's really yellow for white, right? So this is the one I use probably the most every day because it sits here next to the bench, and I use it for my test bed. But I like this JHS thing. Originally, I bought the kit. I was going to do the foot switch mod to it. So you can see here, I'll unplug it. So it's got the room in it inside the case to put another foot switch for the channel switching. But the way the channel switching works in this is not as simple as some other pedals. So you need like a 4-pole switch at least. And so I don't have one. So I don't think I'm going to end up doing that. Plus, a friend of mine already wants it because they couldn't get one right away. So, but makes for good videos. So if you guys want to hear more of this, I did make a YouTube video yesterday showing, yeah, the PCB here I'll show you. PCB doesn't cover that area at all. It's totally open right there. Let me show you. So everyone has been thinking the same thing as soon as these came out and they saw how they look inside. Problem is, it's not as simple as using a 3-pole. As far as I know, this will not work for it. You'd need a 4-pole one. But I'd also have to pull the other switch off and not really know what I was doing. But as you can see, so this is the foot switch on this side. There's a huge blank gap right here where you definitely could put another foot switch or mods, or you could fit another board in here if you were clever. Put a fuzz or an overdrive in this space. So it definitely it's definitely capable of it. So I know people have been talking about it and all whatnots, but yeah, it's definitely got a lot of space in there. If you wanted to drop something else in, you could just put a whole nother pedal circuit in there. The poles on the hand switch, so it has 12 poles. Well, it's a 4-pole. It's a weird thing. It's a 4-pole on-off with 2 lanes, but has 12 total pins. So 6 pins per side, but 4 of them are in use. So it feeds in from the bottom, and then you've got, like, the clean is one section, but I think part of the reason why it's like this is that it rewires that as part of the circuit. So it like rewires it in and sticks this in the middle. So it's kind of like using both. So that's part of why it would be a little trickier than people thought. It is definitely possible. Like, nothing is impossible if you were clever. But I poked around with it trying to see if I could get it to do it simpler. I couldn't. That's why I ended up building it anyway, and just playing it. But it's a good one. It sounds good. They make it so easy. Like, I'm about to build some of my stuff. And by comparison, it is extraordinarily difficult to how these are. And that's not even, like, I don't even do stuff point to point or anything, but like the way their stuff snaps together like this. Yeah, you can get a 4-pole. They're expensive. They're physically pretty large. But I could get them, but I don't really feel like it. Plus, then your foot switch would be poking out like right here, right in the middle of the text. My original plan was the foot switch would come out right here and it just would say Dumble and it would have another foot switch, but yeah, and it has to be a hard switch. It can't be like a momentary, because that only has 2 poles. I mean, you could build a circuit to do the switching for you and use a momentary, but again, that's a little outside of my wheelhouse. I know there's people that know how to do stuff like that. But that's not really my thing. I'm not too big on modding existing stuff. Yeah. But we're going to build some of my stuff now. I think I'm going to build some Echo Moon. That'll be nice sounding. Let's see, do I have one sitting right here? I do not. To grab a couple real quick. But yeah, we were playing the Amity a bunch. This is my dual overdrive pedal. It sounds really super good with that. I mean, it sounds good in general because it's got you can have 2 low gain drives, you can have a low and a high. You have a lot of different shaping. It's not the same circuit twice. It's 2 different, totally different circuits, but they complement each other well. So that's kind of why I was promoting both together. It was like, people need to know about the Amity because it's my newest release. It's only been out like a month or so, and really cool. So that's what I was kind of focusing the video on for a bit. We're gonna put this here. I gotta grab some circuit boards. 1 second. We're gonna build some delay pedals. I have a bunch of stuff that in stock that I can work on, and so I'm trying to build up a bunch of inventory, which is very rare for Fuzz Imp. Typically, I don't have all that much stuff in stock, but I do actually have inventory right now of all the popular stuff. So I have Machinas in stock. I have things in stock. Yeah, no, you're good. Thanks for coming by. I don't do these. I don't do these YouTube streams very often at all. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. I'll try and make a habit to do them more than, every once in a blue moon. Sometimes probably like every other month or something I do a stream. I stream on Instagram a lot because I feel like it's more set up for it. YouTube is, but it would look a lot better if it was done slick. Yeah, thank you. And I have every once in a while. Oh no, we got plenty. Okay, we got plenty. Perfect. Going to build some Echo Moons, which will be fun for everyone. Because I think those two together, the Notadumble and the Echo Moon, might sound quite nice as well. So we'll try and make a little. We'll make it a whole experience, right? Do a little bit of everything, and we'll go from there. Let's get the iron warmed up. But yeah, I'm having a pretty good day. 60 Cycle Ryan did a big demo that came out about a day and a half ago, and that was pretty exciting stuff. If you haven't seen it yet, check out 60 Cycle Hum. There's a whole Fuzz Imp. This is 3 pedals. It's the Amity, the Machina 2, and the Center 5 all in 12-volt 2 pedals. They can sound good. Yeah, I think you need the real voltage. Like, there is some ways you can step up the voltage, but it's more about, or what is it? Like the amperage, you need pretty high amps to really get the most out of an actual tube. I've seen some pretty cool designs where people use like a full, like the mini tubes that can run on lower voltages. And they're pretty cool, like the new old stock mini tubes. I would love to do something with one of those, but I don't know. I feel like if the tubes are in the amp. Hi, Mark. But yeah, the 12 volt ones can sound good. Just depends on how much amperage it's getting. But yeah, we're doing a YouTube stream today. I hopped on IG, wasn't really seeing anybody, and it's kind of early in the day. Yeah, I was going to build and mod amps. I have a friend that's really into it. I like those. People are doing like those little solid state. It's like a full-blown amp that can fit in a pedal case with the Class D amps, and those are kind of cool. I think that would be neat to do someday. But I like preampy stuff because, like, the preamp really shapes most of the tone in an amp. So, like, Amity has kind of that preampy vibe, and so does, that's kind of what the Notadumble is too. Hey Jim, you were jamming the white Amity with the Notadumble earlier in the stream, and that turned out pretty good. I was not that surprised because I did a little YouTube video yesterday with it, and using the Amity really kicks it up because you can really get some definition and some gain going with it, and it sounds nice. It sounds kind of rich and liquidy. It feels like maybe it captures the essence of the Dumble sound, which is kind of those sustained squish. It's like a sustained squish with like a slightly rounder top end and mid range. Even on the clean setting on that JHS thing, it sounds pretty good. But like I said something earlier in the stream, one of my friends really wanted to get in on the run, and I told him I would sell him my Notadumble for retail if he wanted it, and it sounded like he was going to get an Amity to go with it. So he hasn't actually paid for it yet, but we're in the works with it. So, and I get that. The kit building part of it was not particularly exciting for me because I can just build pedals all the time. Yeah, I mean, it was I gave him some instructions, but he wanted to... Yeah, I'll talk about the Notadumble some more too, Jim. The Ryan demo, I did send him with some basic instructions, but he had talked about beforehand wanting to do it that way. So, you know, he wanted to kind of do the demo his style. So far, it hasn't brought any sales, but I think it was a good, fun exercise, and I think it definitely made for some good content. I thought so. If nothing else, I think it just kind of put me on the radar for some people. I think it's just a little harder to sell pedals just now anyway. But I was just bummed because I had all these pedals like built and ready to go. So I was like, okay, I'm ready for this big rush, and there wasn't one. So I was like, oh man. But we'll get through it. If nothing else, it just gives me more time to stock up on everything that... so I have a lot of inventory, so when people want pedals, I'm ready to go. And yeah. Yeah, it's true, and it's tough. I mean, I really am proud of Amity, and I would love to be doing more pedal models, but right now, with the tariffs, I'm not sure when my next thing will get developed. I need like a really super strong... What I would like is like a high gain fuzz for the next one. But I haven't found a circuit that tops what Machina 2 does. So that's the hard part for me, is I'm constantly trying things and thinking of ideas, but the problem is that I make so much stuff already that does things better. Like the whole reason Amity came out is I was building a circuit and it did the shroot thing even better than the shroots do. And that's why I was like, oh, I have to put this in a pedal, and that's what the right side of the Amity is. And then people were talking about how much they love the Obtainium, and that's what the left side is the new Obtainium, which does sound super good. And so I'm happy with how it turned out. I feel like I need to get it into some more player hands that are really seeking out that like bluesy, you know, dynamic, responsive overdrive type sound. And I feel like if I found the right people, they would it would really go well with them. So that is kind of what I'm thinking for the next move. But Ryan is a good start, and he's a really good friend, and he did a really cool demo, so I can't complain about that. But I'm working on making an Echo Moon. After this Echo Moon is built and tested, we'll bust the Notadumble back out. But yeah, I thought it sounded really good. I thought the clean channel sounded good. The drive channel doesn't have enough gain for me. What I probably will do, actually, when I bust the Notadumble back out, is adjust the presence on it a little bit. I feel like it's a little too rounded off. I feel like it could use a little brightening from how it was set factory. But it has that John Mayer type sound. Well, and it is. I mean, a lot of them do use that stuff in response to Mark talking about worship people using it. And that was part of the reason why I kept the graphics so neutral on Amity. I kind of gave it that look so that it could fit for not just worship, but kind of any kind of general gigging musician player, where maybe if they don't want something so stylized, but it still has a really clean, like a really clean look. So it kind of can go for any kind of player. Like that was kind of the goal with how I did the Amity. And I feel like it turned out well. So that was definitely a thought as I was putting it together. Exactly. And that's kind of been the trend of my graphics anyway. The one thing I may do someday is just bump up the size of the font, like the font size on the Amity on the knob labels, because it is a little harder to read from standing. I bumped them up a couple times as I was designing the graphic, but I think I might bump them up one more size. But other than that, it's a perfect pedal, and I have a bunch of them in stock. And yeah, and I think it's always been tough with the company, right? Because I have a real specific vision of what I want to do, how I want things to sound, how I want them to look. But at the same time, I don't want somebody to feel like they wouldn't gel with a particular pedal. Even Obtainium was intentionally designed to be pretty neutral so that it could go to any player. Like, it's not pigeonholed to a metal or Doom player or something like that. As much as I like both the metal and Doom communities, and my pedals work well for both, I don't want that to be the only thing that my pedals do. Now, obviously, I might design a pure metal pedal again, like the shred pedal. That was my attempt, especially that last graphic was my attempt to kind of break into that market. But again, it's tough when, you know, specific brands kind of have are kind of real strong in certain scenes. So it is what it is. But Fuzz Imp is doing the Fuzz Imp thing, and it's actually not going all that bad these days. So I really have no complaints, other than people should be buying more pedals. But yeah, you know, people have talked about, why don't you do a modulation pedal or a reverb? It's like, well, for one, I feel like those needs are better served by other people. If I had something new to add to the conversation, that's when I would really get engaged on a project like that. Like Echo Moon was, okay, I've really messed around with this delay chip. I want to do something interesting with it, and I did. But it's like, you know, if you want clean delays, like that DL4 that I have is so good for kind of general purpose. It's got tap tempo, it's got reverbs you can add. It's like, it's so much pedal for the money that I don't feel like I need to compete with it, you know. But I don't know. I'm pretty stoked with the pedal designs and how it's been going. I just feel like Amity needs just the right demos, the right something to break through. And I've had a lot of people make some great demos that came out this week. My other friend Ryan Ellis did a video. My friend Drew Creel did a really good demo. I know that it's a good one for players, and I think it just needs a little more time to catch on. Maybe the right demo people that really can exploit and use that kind of bluesier sound. Even like in a classic rock sense, right? Doesn't necessarily have to be exclusively a blues. Oh, anything between 9 and 18, Jim. It's just, that's the max. So I made it so it can run between 9 and 18. I've run it on 12. I think some power supplies have a 15. I don't hear massive differences. Some people say they can hear more headroom on 18. It was more so, too, just to build in it. So what had happened at times is sometimes players would use, like, the old Boss power supplies that actually run at 10 or 12 volts, not 9, and then my pedal wouldn't work. So That was like a real thing I was dealing with. But yeah, it works on anything between 9 and 18. I'll plug it in a second and run it on 12. It's a pretty good one. I mostly just plug it in on 9 when I'm testing them and using them, but they have high power capacitors, so they're capable of running on anything. But it has a power protection thing that's even beyond what's in the other pedals. If I really was going for it, I would change everything to work like that, so that all it really needs is it needs some special reworking so that the switching circuit, so the switching relay doesn't explode when you run more voltage. So there's a little regulator thing that I install. Like even on Echo Moon, it has a 5-volt regulator for the chip. It's the same kind of regulator that I use on the Amity. But yeah, it works good. I think it might be a little bolder. I don't feel like it radically reshapes it, because I know that was a thing with some older like full tone pedals and other boutique overdrives, is that people wanted either internally it was bumping it up to 18 volt, or they made it so it could run up to 18 volt because the more headroom kind of enhanced the sound. But it's an option. I feel like it might. I mean, I play kind of loud anyway and run the pedal pretty full out, so it's like it all sounds big to me. I mean, I run the amp real quiet and I just crank it hard, so it's really pushing the front end. So I don't know, but it's an option, and that was something that I think other players wanted. So they have the option with that pedal to run it on higher voltage, in case you're out of spots on your board, you know, and all you have left is like a 15 volt or a 12 volt or 18 volt on your brick. Then you have a pedal that can slot in without having to get another power supply involved, which is a good one. Yeah, I had a Catalyst too. I really liked that pedal. I thought that was great. One of my first nicer pedals was a Full Drive 2. I had an OCD and I had the Catalyst. There was another one, Plimsoll. I had a Plimsoll. That was a nice sounding pedal. But after I build this, we'll go back to jamming some more with the Notadumble. Got to test this and make sure it's working first, but once that's done, then we'll plug in the Notadumble stuff again. Yeah. I mean, when I do the streams, I'm not working at my normal pace because I'm kind of hanging out and talking to you guys. But it's a fun way to pass the time, for sure. I figure I'd do about an hour and a half stream. We're at 45 minutes so far. We've had a good turnout. When I was jamming the Notadumble earlier, for a second I had like 12 people watching, which is crazy for me. I know it's the big hype pedal right now, and I noticed it right away. Like when I uploaded that video, it definitely got some views. So that's cool. I like views. Well, I think too, just showing like, hey, here's this thing somebody else made that's cool. Here's the thing that I make that's really cool. Here's how they sound together. I feel like that genre of video does well. You know, I can't always buy all the new gear that comes out, but it just so happened that I caught it at a good time when I had a couple bucks. And so, yeah. I still need to build my own permanent pedal board that has a bunch of my stuff on it that is like expressly for my own use, you know, for play testing and demoing everything. Okay, so now we're gonna try chips. I have extras, in case any of these are bad. Sometimes they run a little noisy. I've been sourcing them from a better place. I've only had to reject like a couple. That's why they're socketed, and I play test them pretty carefully now. That's an unfortunate reality of the chips for these, is that even from a reputable supplier, you know, even from a thing, you can still get bunk ones. I had really good luck for a while with these ones I was getting from Amazon from this supplier, and then I had this one tube that I got of them, and they were all bad except for like 2 of them. So I stopped doing that. I started getting them from Stompbox Parts again, Cusack's thing. I've only had to reject 1 so far, so I'm pretty optimistic that this one will do well. But we have to test it and play it first. So we'll figure that out here in a minute. Hopefully it's a good one. I have my VHT tubes set up behind me. I think it needs a new power tube. What would sound really cool, and what I might test on my own later and maybe make a video of it, is that my little tube head in 212 cab, it has an effects loop on it, so I can bypass the whole front end, which I think I have a bad tube in the front end. And then I would have a Dumble preamp with a tube power, and that might sound really super good. So I might do that at some point. So let's plug this in, play test our Echo Moon, and see if it's gonna work. Hopefully. Oh, it's perfect. It's perfect, and there's no noise. Oh, it sounds so nice. Oh, you love when when a plan comes together. So I'm gonna I'm gonna finish this. We'll put the back plate on and sign it, and then we'll plug the Notadumble back in again. I think the real move would be Amity or Echo Moon, Amity, Notadumble, DL4. That would be a good sound for sure. I might do that whole setup. That might be something worth exploring a little bit later. So we'll have to see if I get to doing that, how that goes. That might be fun. We have built 201 pedals this year. A little under what I'd like, but not terrible. If you didn't know, I signed the month and a number, and that's from 0 at the start of the year. So I'm on the 200 the next one will be the 202nd pedal I made in 2025. Ideally, I'd like to hit 1,000 a year. That's like the sweet spot. Above that would be even better, but that's kind of the sweet spot. So we're almost to mid-May at 200. Not super great, but not the worst either. So we've got our Echo Moon all completely built. I'm going to pull the Notadumble back out, and I'll flip the camera so you guys, we'll do the overhead shot so you guys can see how it all sounds. Because I think this is going to sound good. Actually, you know what? Do I have a third one? I'm always stealing my little power cables. I don't think I have a third one. Maybe. No, that's not it. So I'll have to grab one from upstairs at some point. But I have 2 at least. So I can do 2 pedals at once today. We'll do the Notadumble and the Echo Moon, because I think that'll sound really nice. do Echo Moon first. So that's my recommended kind of setup. Just set up here. The clean channel on the Notadumble is a really nice, like, clean boost. I can see why John Mayer used it. It really brings out the sparkle. Oh, we were going to do this other thing. So I'll also I'll pull the back plate off so we can adjust the presence on this, on the drive channel in real time. That'll be fun. So bear with me. Got to pull the back plate off this carefully. Put our little screws in there. Okay, and then we'll plug this in. We're hooked up. And guitar pick. Got it here. Okay, so what we're gonna do is dial in the gain channel on the Notadumble real quick. Need just a little more presence. Oh, it sounds tasty. Tasty, tasty. So let's get the above head cam so you guys can see what I'm about to do, and we'll go from there. Okay, so we can switch our deal here. Oh, one sec. There we go. There we go. I found there's like this sweet spot to it where the angle is really close to what I hear while I'm sitting here. So we got to find that. Yeah, that sounds nice. Yeah, so it's definitely got like drive to it on the, so that's on the clean channel of the. Yeah, I'm gonna record a little clip of that and put it on Instagram here in a minute. I think that'll sound really cool. So yeah, thanks for coming by, everybody. This was a fun little stream. I'm not really sure how to end it on these. I always forget, but thanks for coming by. I think I really enjoyed this. I'm going to get back to work building all the pedals, and hope you guys enjoyed hearing a little bit of what this Notadumble sounds like. I know it's a hot item this week, and so hopefully this stream was fun for everyone, and catch you over on Instagram. Hit me up with messages or whatever you might need, and we'll see you soon.